and one of those things is DTravel. And yeah, it's DTravel's been showing a lot of strength recently, hasn't it? And we had this kind of big rejection, big sell-off, and then we've had a little front run of this point of control, and we've had an immediate buyback. Okay, we still haven't, we're in bullish market structure now on the weekly time frame. Let me get rid of all of these brush strokes. Got that trend line, so you can almost argue that trend line's been hit. You could almost argue that point of control's been hit as well. And we're getting quite nice price action here, aren't we? We're getting quite nice bullish price action. The volume's been quite nice as well. It's always good to have a look at the X page for DTravel to see what's being said. So there's quite a lot of activity for the first time in DTravel history. You can book with Coinbase Bitcoin on the base layer 2. So that's really good news, isn't it? So you can have a wrapped Bitcoin on base and book travel with Bitcoin on the base layer. And look at this one, a new milestone. So they sent out an email last night. We've had 10,000 nights booked through direct sites powered by DTravel. 10,000 nights, that's a big deal. So look, we're making progress across the board. I've been talking about the progress that we've been making. And then obviously, if you go to dune.com/DTravel/DTravel-network-analytics, you can catch the live data of the real world network. And this is just kind of live information updated 12 hours ago. And we are growing. Are we growing? We're not necessarily growing exponentially just yet. And this is why TRVL is such an attractive token, because when you're looking at the higher time frame, when you're looking at the charts, now a lot of people might not be familiar with all the kind of chart analysis that I'm doing. All of these lines is kind of like, what do these lines mean, etc. What do these candles mean, etc. Like a lot of people might be looking at my videos and watching, not really understanding anything. So let me simplify it. Let me just go to a line drawing. I think for most people, I'll get rid of the volume as well, because I don't think most people understand the volume. That's basically the price of TRVL. And this is time at the bottom. See that? So going all the way back to the end of 2021 through to the current date, you can see that the price of the token has dropped. We're down 98% at the moment, 98.39% from this local high, which was about 60 cents, 61 cents. But actually the all-time high, if you go back a little bit further, I'll tell you it's at 1.56, it's there. And if you take it right from the all-time high to the current price, we're down 99.38%. So there's a real opportunity here in that you can see the price has dropped significantly. But when you look at the stats, you can see the stats of our real world network. It's just gone up and up and up. So from March 2023, when this real world stats started to be formulated like this, March 2023, where's March 2023 on this chart? Yeah, there, see that? So basically from there, March 2023, that's where we were. And the price of TRVL is down 88%. So we've had growth in our network and we've had a decline in price. And so there's ample opportunity here for people to accumulate and pick up TRVL at relatively low prices when you look at the whole history of the price compared to time. Now, a lot of people might be scared of these kind of charts because they think, oh my God, what's going to happen? I'm going to buy $1,000 and then this is going to go down to zero or whatever. That's what people think, okay? But the testament to that not happening is very clear. We've been trading now for nearly 4 years, okay? And we've lost a lot of value in terms of market cap value. And DTravel is strong, still strong. We're still strong, we're still growing, we're still building. There's still lots of things happening. The team has been streamlined and made more efficient, and that's usually happens in startups. You know, you go through a transition stage where there are changes because people have real life circumstances that they have to contend with, and not everyone can be in the same business or in the same project forever. We have life changes, etc. But you can still see that that hasn't, at the moment, that hasn't affected the price. Actually, if anything, it's held the price up. So the changes have had a positive impact on the price. As I explained to you before, we've had a weekly market structure change because we've had a higher high there and a higher low there. And so we are in a bullish weekly structure. What that means is that there are more buyers than sellers at these prices, yeah? And generally speaking, when people are buying, they sell at higher prices to take profit, and then they buy back lower to accumulate more token. And so naturally, if people sold the high there, on the first pullback, they will buy the low here, and they will net a percentage gain, whatever it is, 30%, 28%, whatever, on the amount that they sold and bought. And you end up with the market doing this, and then when the market does this, you end up with higher lows and higher highs. Now, I've been talking about an inverse head and shoulder style pattern forming, and I've been talking about that for a long time now. We know where the neckline is. It's pretty straightforward. It's there. We have a little bit of a left shoulder here. We have a kind of a complicated right shoulder head here. And then we have this kind of little right shoulder forming here. This is the question: what happens next? Do we break out? Because this is what we need. We need a breakout. And it looks like we could, okay? It looks like we could, but we do need volume for the breakout. We are forming a right shoulder. You can see that, okay? We are forming a little bit of a right shoulder, and I've been talking about this right shoulder for a long time. We've put in our higher high, which is our market structure change. And now we're forming our right shoulder. Effectively, what the price needs to do, it needs to go back up into the highs, put another higher high. So this becomes a higher low. And then we need to break, consolidate, and then we just need to have market buying for a real breakout. That's what we need to happen. So ultimately, for that to happen, Bitcoin needs to go up. Yeah, and that's the reality of Bitcoin. Bitcoin needs to bottom out now-ish, and then it needs to go up. And so we're in that situation now. I don't really see anything crazy technical on the charts, to be honest with you. I was hoping for a back test there. It didn't happen. You see that? So we've come a bit lower. And you see these anchored VWAPs are offering support right now. This is actually incorrect, I think, because we've lost the top of 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. 2, 3. We've lost the top of 1, so that can't be correct. if that was your wave 1, A, B, C, 2, was that your 3? That can't be correct. So the only way that this could be correct and still be in our wave is if that's the first wave and we're still in the wave 3. It's the only way this can be, or the whole thing is like a big corrective, and it could be a corrective. It could be some kind of A, B, C, like that, some kind of extended flat. Okay, we don't really know until it happens, and so possibly that was your wave 1. There was another wave 1, possibly that was your wave 1 there. And we are I don't really know about this correction, but whatever. Then you'll be looking for like something like that. For that to happen, then you have to abide by the rules, and then that top of that first wave has to flip for the last wave. And so there are options here where this could work if that was a first impulsive wave of the next wave, and we're in the next impulsive wave of the light blue wave here. These are variations, and again, Elliott waves is really tricky. It's hard to know exactly what's happening until it happens, and so it's so much easier to just have a look afterwards. And so I'll keep it, and I'll keep tracking that. Was that crazy high time frame I did? Oh, okay, yeah, that was it. Remember that? Yeah. So we took out that level, and then we've kind of come back. I'll keep that. Volume levels. We're into this, across this high volume node. Yeah, none of these really matter at the moment because the volume is relatively low. It's a liquid token. I think what we have to see, I think we're seeing some good signs here because we're clearly finding support of the point of control here, even though we haven't touched it. We're at a really strong area of buying and accumulation here. It's obvious to see. And if based on the volume now, because I drew the range pool, you can see the value area high is there. That'll probably be your target, probably. Get rid of this high volume node. That'll probably be your target. Excuse me. If we break out to the upside, probably going all the way up to 3.1 cents. That's kind of what I'm eyeing on in this next move, and I'm hoping that it happens. That will also be the golden pocket. You see that? And I think that would be the right place to take profit. That would be bullish if we were to get a move up to there, but it also could be bearish because you could be forming lower highs, yeah, and here on the higher time frame, lower lows. And you just got to be aware of that. If we do get a breakout, the price goes up there, and you get an immediate rejection, and then you could be forming lower highs. And then if you can't reclaim 2 cents, and that would be a really important level to reclaim, you could get a rejection and not reclaim 2 cents. If you reject and not reclaim 2 cents, then the price will go down for a neckline test of this breakout. Does that make sense? Bullish scenario here would be to go up and to reclaim 2 cents after you get back into the range. If you reject and you don't reclaim 2 cents, then you're probably heading back down to the 1 cent area just to fill the volume, depending on how fast we go up. It all depends on how fast we go up and how we consolidate, because things vary depending on how you consolidate. If you consolidate for a while here, then things could change, yeah? Because consolidation is either people buying and selling, and it's like people taking profit and reaccumulating, yeah? And that's kind of what you want to see. You want to see consolidation where people have taken profit and they buy back in. But if you get a situation where we just burst out to the upside, then clearly there's going to be an easy take profit there. And then will people buy back into 2 cents? I don't know. And then it'll be more likely for the price to come back down to another golden pocket area for people to reaccumulate for another higher low, etc. And then you could end up with higher lows, lower highs, high, you could end up with something like that. But the other thing is, if you do find support at 2 cents and the price just can't get underneath 2 cents after you have gone all the way up to 3 cents, then and you get strong buying here, the volume profile changes, and all of a sudden you see the volume coming at this level again, then you could be in a situation where you get reaccumulation at 2 cents, and then we could have another move to the upside, breaking through our original 3 cent target, and then we'd be looking to head to higher prices, 5.5, 9 cents from this 2 cents mark. And so there are lots of variations of what could happen, but ultimately I think the target here could be 3 cents. It'd be a nice target. If people feel trapped, then that would be a good place to detrap yourselves and to kind of free yourself from this for the short term. And then long term, just have to wait and see what happens with the rest of the market. That's kind of TRVL for the short to medium term. It's looking quite good. I feel like, look, we're getting quite nice buying. I feel like the selling has stopped. You can tell, can't you? Because before, every time we were selling, it was just selling. Right now, the selling is not really being met with continuation. We're getting selling, but then it's just buying back. Selling, and look, it's just buying back. And so what's happening is that people are selling because they're panicking, but then when they buy back, the price just goes straight back up. And so there isn't really much selling, actually. There's a lot more buying than selling. I'll feel a lot better when we do breakout. I'll feel a lot better when we do hit our 3, 3.5, 3 to 2, whatever cent target, and back in the range. I think it's very wise for everyone to take profit at that price. I really do. I really believe that. Be good to take profit, and I think it'll be really wise to take profit, and I think it'll be really wise to reaccumulate the dips. And if everyone can do that collectively, we can hold for higher lows and head for higher highs. And that's kind of what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that we have a very easy target now of just a shade over 3 cents. I wouldn't recommend people to market out. I reckon people could start scaling out and start scaling back in. It's like an exercise of scaling out and scaling back in at the right price. You're scaling out 3 cents, and then however that plays out, until you can wait for the dip. And you've seen with TRVL, when it dips, it really loves to dip, and those are the opportunities to buy back in. And so we've seen it. This is a big dip that people sold there, and it dipped 27%. It was a big dip, and that's a real opportunity to scale back in when you do take profit. And then you just end up improving your average, increasing your portfolio size. It means that for a portion of the amount that you took profit, you were able to make gains. And so naturally, I'll be looking for that target to be hit. I think that's my TRVL update. It's really important to keep a track of our Telegram. Telegram is really important. That's where you're going to get the latest information. Andrea has posted an announcement about CBTC. She posted there first. 10,000 room nights booked. See, Andy's posting that there first. Here in the general chat, you can see some market buying, a new booking process, more buying, new users, new operators, more buying. Look at that buying, these whales. They're buying. See that? Whale buy. Whale buy. That's what you want to see. Buying. New users. Look at that. New partnerships. This is good news. Good stuff. New bookings. Sleek Lofts Valencia. Let's have a look at Sleek Lofts Valencia. Beach room in messy urban jungle for daring people. A beach room in a messy urban jungle. What does that even mean? No idea. Looks nice, huh? Coffee machine. That's what it's like. That's what it looks like. So this is a beach room in a messy urban jungle in Valencia. 26 euros a night. Can you imagine how cheap that is? How much is that in for 3,000 TRVL, 3,098 TRVL per night? You could live in this beach room in Valencia. This is nice. Med. They have an Airbnb profile. They have other properties. Look at that. Lots of stylish lofts, beach lofts. It's very nice. Availability is limited for a week. 18,000 TRVL for a week stay in this beach room in a messy urban jungle. You can pay using crypto. Look at that. With TRVL, you get a 10% discount if I connect my wallet. $170, 20,000. Card processing fee waived. Discounts. Look at the discounts. Weekly discount. The fees. Cleaning fee, card processing, and then you get the card processing back. And that doesn't include the TRVL, which would be another 10% off. This is really good, huh? Sleek Lofts. Enjoy Valencia like locals do. Oh, look at those reviews. This is nice. They got an Airbnb profile. Let's have a look at that. 4.41 star rating, 706. Well done. Very nice. All right, so that's my stream on TRVL, and I'll continue doing that. As everyone knows, I'm continuously wearing the DTravel hat and the DTravel t-shirt. If you don't mind, just a nice like, a share, a retweet, a reshare, whatever would be very useful. Let's get the word out. Let's get people interested in DTravel and TRVL. If you don't already know, I have a playlist on my channel. It's right on the front page, DTravel, and the light green videos are more fundamental videos. The dark green ones are more technical videos. Okay, just in case you didn't know, I've created 236 videos to date. So yeah, that's going quite well. Lots of videos. And you know, one day DTravel will become pretty big. One day it will become a unicorn. You know, one day I'll just continue doing this. It's fun. It's a hobby. I like it. So any kind of support would be helpful. I really appreciate that.